ningependa kukuona, nikwambie vile nimeshinda, nikueleze yalo moyoni. Kuna vile natamani kuwa nawe, uwe karibu nami, niwe karibu na wewe. But you are far away, so far away, so far from me. Roho yaumia, I am missing my baby. Roho yaumia, I am missing my baby. Kuna vile ningependa tuongee every morning and every night, nikueleze navyohisi. Yeah. Kuna vile natamani unishike, uniambie matamu ya roho, ili mimi nitabasamu. But you are far away, so far away, so far from me. Roho yaumia, I am missing my baby. Roho yaumia, I am missing my baby. I need you right here, oh my baby. Nakuhitaji, oh my baby. I need you right here, oh my baby. Nakuhitaji, but you are far away, so far away, so far from me. Roho yaumia, I am missing my baby. Roho yaumia, I am missing my baby. Roho yaumia, I am missing my baby. Roho yaumia, I am missing my baby.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Oko primary school. And we go out. You know, we on a mountain. Wella. Hey! Okay, we got you. Giddy, machi. In the house on death, desire. What the hell is you looking for? Can I young Luo make money anymore? Shake your feet, baby girl, and I'm on. Maji, nyaku, don't did you want my Luo back? Who are you? What are you? Who the hell do you think you are? Do you know me? Do I know you? Get the hand out of my face because, hey, I am unbogable. I am unbeatable. I am unsuable. So if you like my song, sing it for yourself. Who can you over me? Hey! Who can you over me? I said, who can you over me? I am unbogable. Who can you over me? Who can you over me? I said, who can you over me? I am unbogable. Yeah, you don't wanna come back. You won't go in like a bar. You won't go in like a bar. Maji, like a paroli, the Korea. Ogingo dinga donga paroli. Tomboya donga paroli. Ukoroba donga paroli. Raila molo donga paroli. Gormania donga paroi, Okachu Biggie donga paroi, Orango Jimmy donga paroi, Julie Dunia Bea Julu over me, over me, over me. I am unbelievable. Over me, over me. I said, over me. I am unbelievable. Yes, I know what digging up. Nekwada jengo jakoboto ngama tugo koda. Listen, nobody can buogo me. Neither nobody can buogo this. Giddy big name, I'm sellable. Kama pili yes, I'm terrible. Kanyamua homa bing, I'm a chalakoda. Do you know giddy son buogo? Over me, over me, over me. I am unbelievable. Over me. Over me, I said, over me. I am unbelievable. Aguambo, gini take my nadeni. Yawa, gini take my nadeni. Jobondo, gini lich my nadeni. You are unbelievable. Orengo, gini take my nadeni. Yawa, gini take my nadeni. Joganya, gini lich my nadeni. You are unbelievable. Anyanyongo, gini take my nadeni. Yawa, gini pek manadeni. Joseme, gini lich manadeni. You are unbelievable. Jodone, gini pek manadeni. Yawa, gini pek manadeni. Joge, gini lich manadeni. You are unbelievable. Ochuoto, gini pek manadeni. Yawa, gini pek manadeni. Rangwe, gini lich manadeni. You are unbelievable. Over me. Over me, I said, over me. I am unbelievable. Over me, over me, I said, over me. I am unbelievable. Over me, over me, I said, over me. I am unbelievable. Over me. Over me, I said, who can do over me? I am unbelievable. Yawa, gini pek manadeni. Yawa, gini pek manadeni. Yawa, gini pek manadeni.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Pawa Radio.
She says she's okay. I don't believe her. There's just something about the way she turned her back on me. I know in my mind I'll never leave her. There's just something about the way we love each other right. Night and day, I know sometimes in love there can be pain. And even though we need a little break, I know that you'll come back to me. You know that I'll come back to you, 'cause that's when you'll start to feel my love. Feel it. That's when you feel it. That's when you start to feel my love. Feel it. That's when you feel it. Na 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 na.
Usiponipenda nitapendwa na nani? Nitakuwa mgeni wa nani? Ukiwa mbali nami nabaki tabani. Ona nahisi kisirani, hawa haina maana mimi na wewe kuzozana. Mbona tunasimangana, hatuwezi semezana. My love, haina maana mimi na wewe kuzozana. Mbona tunasimangana, hatuwezi semezana. Even though we fight all night and day, I know sometimes in love there can be pain. And even though we need our rain, I know that you come back to me. And you know that I come back to you. That's when you start to feel my love. Feel it. That's when you feel it. That's when you start to feel my love. Feel it. That's when you feel it. And even if we fight all night and day, I know sometimes in love there can be pain. And even if we need a little break, I know that you come back to me. You know that I'll come back to you. And that's when you start to feel my love.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Feel My Love by Sauti Sol, and it is playing right here on Power Radio. Yes, this is the station where you tune in and power up. Welcome to the Power Morning Drive Show with me and Wanyoike. It's so good to have you join us this morning. It's been an exciting, well, I can't necessarily quite say exciting because a lot has been happening in the country, and we are going to talk a little bit about that on our news roundup as well. But I hope you're keeping well. I hope you're keeping safe. Definitely hoping that you are keeping warm, because as it looks like Nairobi is giving gloomy, it's giving gray, it's giving June is here, and we are going to be in this chilly weather for the next 2 months, give or take. I've also seen the meteorological department saying that we might have to brace ourselves for the El Nino kind of rain. So, hey guys, it's time to lock in. I don't know whether you are prepared for the rain and the cold season, but let me know what you're thinking. Let me know how you're choosing to keep warm. But I can think of one way to keep you warm, which is of course cruise with us. Just keep it tuned to Power Radio. Cruise with us, nice and easy, all the way till 10 in the a.m. We got some amazing music lined up to just keep you company as you go on with your day, as you go on with your work day, as you rest. Maybe some people, it's your week for leave, it's your week for resting. Yeah, whatever it is that you're doing, make sure you tune into Power Radio. And if you're asking where you can do that, you know where to get us. Of course you do. You can get us on our social media handles. You can find us on Power Radio across all socials. Please go find us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, or X. You can also find us on our YouTube channel. That is Power Radio. Please, if you've not yet subscribed, kindly love yourself, respect yourself enough, and make sure you do what is needed. Do the needful. Make sure you subscribe, hit on that notification bell so that you can get notified whenever we have something happening on this side. You can also find us on our website. That is www.power254.org/Power Radio. Which, by the way, I've never said this, but I mean, it's now that you're on our website, you can as well go and see some of the amazing and exciting stuff that Power 254 is all about and what we are planning to do. All right, now that that's out of the way, gotta tell you what to expect on today's show. And of course, you know how we do. We start off with the day's traffic updates, looking at the situation on the major roads of Nairobi. And then I will get into the we might call it madness and the craziness that has been. I mean, where do you even start? It's Ebola, outbreaks and protests. Then we had the femicide march, and also was combined with the pedicide march that happened earlier on this week. Then we have the Madaraka Day celebrations that was happening in Wajir County. Then, as if that was not enough, we had the court orders directing us about this quarantine facility in Laikipia regarding the Ebola. So, I mean, it's a mix of many things. So we will get into that a little bit later, get to hear some of the statements that came out of especially the Ebola one. That one is the one that shook a lot of Kenyans. So we'll look at everything that has happened in between. Then much later on, we are going to be having a conversation about Baddies kwa Ballot. Again, the reason as to why by the way, this entire week, we have dedicated it to the sustenance of the conversation about voter registration in Kenya. Why? When you look at everything that's happening in the country, I can tell you for sure that it is a symptom of a failing government, right? And the only way to fix that, I think, within a democracy at least, which Kenya is a democracy, is to ensure that we are making a lot of noise. Yes, the bad things that are happening, like now the Ebola thing, but you do not beat something terrible happening with being loud about it. You become you become victorious over it by making more noise and more and making more noise about what the solution to this thing is, or what the antidote rather is. And so that's why we think that it's important to sustain a conversation about voter registration, because kama hauko kadi, well, you might not have any reason to be out on the streets protesting, and I'm gonna tell you why in just a moment. Or rather, our conversation today is going to highlight on the reason as to why we have to keep sustaining a conversation about voter registration, because yes, the issues are there, but also we also have a tool in our hand, which is our voters card, right? So that when come 2027, you decide, you get to choose the issues that you want to be dealt with, first things first, right? Now that that's out of the way, let me get you to work or wherever it is that you are going. We start off with looking at the traffic situation in Nairobi and perhaps its environs. Let's see what's happening. Right. We start off with kama kawaida, Thika Superhighway. Things are looking bumper to bumper. Do see for sure the situation is looking a little bit crazy, especially as you make your way from the Outer Ring Road down towards Globe roundabout. Nothing different happening. Same situation also happening from on Kiambu Road from the DCI area down towards the Muthaiga Square. Things are looking a little bit square, a little bit unfair. We also have the same situation happening on Limuru Road from Village Market down towards Muthaiga. You guys, you need to lock in just a little bit in that neck of the woods, because you are in for a road shock. Same situation also happening on Lower Kabete Road from Zen Garden as you make your way towards the Westgate Shopping Mall. Same situation also happening along Red Hill Link Road, which also incidentally has a spillover on James Gishuru Road as you make your way towards the Lavington Mall. Mambo imechemka kule as well. Oloitoktok Road pia, things are looking bumper to bumper, especially as you make your way also towards the Kikambala Road in Kileleshwa. Let us see what is happening along Ngong Road. And Ngong Road is also looking, not too bad, not too shabby. We only have pockets of traffic as you make your way towards the Coptic Hospital area as well. Langata Road from Galleria Mall, things are looking okay, slowly but moving. Nothing much to complain about, with little pockets of traffic spilling over towards the Riara Hotel from the T-Mall. From T-Mall roundabout. Mombasa Road, nothing much to complain about as well. Just a little bit of a snarl up there as you make your way from the Panari Hotel into Capital Center area. And then we also have the same situation happening along the Eastern Bypass as you make your way towards the Cabanas bus stop. things are looking quite busy. But that's not the whole of Nairobi and the scope of Nairobi. In case where you are, you might need us to know the situation happening on your roads. In case of any incidents, do so. The hashtag to use is hashtag Power Morning Drive. We will definitely be on the lookout for that. But for now, let's jump into some music. When we come back, we get into all the lowdown that has been happening in Kenya, including that very crazy Ebola story that broke out with the Ebola breakout as well. Keep it Power Radio.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio. All day and night. Power Radio.
Hello, niggas blowing up my phone. Usini hala kama huna phone. Mnani choke, mnani kabako. Hello, Nyiri betinde why you dogi mawadwaro. Werigi jogi gidwa promises of life. Werigi jogi do machinji ya online. Vijana wa Nairobi msinilete ufala. Ndo manami huishingi hatungepatana. Ukinikata mara moja wezi nitamalaya. And you're telling everybody that this Gucci's on fire. Only fans penye mefika na fungua only fans. Kauna nipenda tu mafea in advance. Penye mefika no romance with no finance. Only fans, yeah. Only fans penye mefika na fungua only fans. Kauna nipenda tu mafea in advance. Penye mefika no romance with no finance. Only fans, yeah.
Hello, ladies blowing up my phone. Aki bien, you are so bomb. Wakituma fea twakuja kwako. Oh yo, steady grinding all night long. Nasikuji kasi form ya door. Itabidi ukanje ndo tupige show. Ukisikia sauti solo jue ni kubaya. Hii muziki ya Kenya twaipeleka Ulaya. Na temperature inapanda warazi wanakwaya. Tutashinda magrami before tumeretire. Mise only fans walimefika natambua only fans. Kanika kitu mutumia only fans. Walimefika nafanyia only fans. Only fans, yeah, only fans. Walimefika natambua only fans. Kanika kitu mutumia only fans. Walimefika mutambua only fans. Only fans, yeah.
From sunrise to sunset,
got the beautiful
all day
Miss V
and
and
night.
vocals.
Power Radio.
Calligraph Jones in the place. Rabbit. Teamwork. Let's get it.
From outer space, out of this world, we come in peace, tell your master all. We are taking over this place right now. But bring your crew, you can let them know. We in town, they should dress up for the show. We are bringing down this town tonight, oh. In an African party, we stomp our feet on the ground. We raise our hands in the air and say, hey, hey, hey. Ruka, leo hatulali jo. Dunda, asubuhi mpaka kesho jo. Washa nare manduna machali tu. Usijali hali mikono juu. Luka, leo hatulali jo. Dunda, asubuhi mpaka kesho jo. Washa nare madem na machali tu. Usijali hali mikono juu.
Imagine, hivyo ndo muingianga kwa klabu au jasikia tunakula life na adabu na masela sela wana hela umenijazka hiu mase hela ni jui basi tela ni king kaka king of Zamunda tuko ndani na tumedunga kaka clothing bado mtumba mina manager tuko tight anajua mimi spend thrift meza drinks nimezipanga kama Tetris
in an African party we stomp our feet on the ground we raise our hands in the air and say hey, hey, hey. Luka, leo hatulali jo. Dunda, asubuhi mpaka kesho jo. Washa nare madem na machali tu. Usijali hali mikono juu. Luka, leo hatulali jo. Dunda, asubuhi mpaka kesho jo. Washa nare madem na machali tu. Usijali hali mikono juu.
Bro, check it, yo, I go like boom, boom, boom. Mikono kwa hewa nikifika tu kwa boom, boom, boom. As I be rolling when I be the cruiser, boom, boom. Get out the way, I'm feeling like money today. I'm here to pour it up all over the club, I'm willing to pay, so that's how I plan to go and tap it. Hey y'all, feed what up, let's make it happen. I'm here to get it crackin'. Shorties are telling me that I'm attractive, cause they be feeling the swag, I'm classic. Call me Papa Jones, and that's it. I'm on.
Luka, leo hatulali jo. Dunda, asubuhi mpaka kesho jo. Washa nare madem na machali tu. Usijali hali mikono juu. Luka, leo hatulali jo. Dunda, asubuhi mpaka kesho jo. Washa nare madem na machali tu. Usijali hali mikono juu. Luka, oh.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
All right, welcome back. That is VUCA by Fee, and it's playing right here on Power Radio. This is the Power Morning Drive Show. My name is Wanyoike, and you're just in time for the daily news roundup that we do right here on this show. So let's get right into it, okay? So, I mean, where to even start? First of all, the Ebola story, which obviously is a developing story, and a lot of conversations that are still happening and going around in terms of what does the country respond. So let me, just in case you haven't heard and you've been living under a rock, let me tell you what happened, right? So a major Ebola outbreak began in Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo and spread into Uganda. And then the United States proposed a facility at Laikipia Air Base in Kenya to quarantine Americans who may have been exposed to that Ebola. The proposed site would reportedly have around 50 beds and be operated by American medical personnel. Now, from this, a lot of things have happened. Of course, there has been a major uproar from Kenyans because some of the Kenyans I've seen the conversations on social media, Kenyans asking, if Ebola is too dangerous for the US, why bring exposed Americans to Kenya? We also had other key concerns that have come up from this entire controversy, which Kenya has no Ebola cases but would be asked to host potentially exposed foreigners. We also have fear of accidental spread if containment is failed. Then concerns that Kenya was being treated as a dumping ground or quarantine zone for wealthier countries, and anger that the deal appeared to have been negotiated without sufficient public consultation or transparency. And of course, this, is something that is a little bit bigger the main issue here is tied to broader frustrations about government accountability. We also have issues to do with sovereignty and public health preparedness. Now, remember, this is a country that, it is happening at the backdrop where the Kenyan government has constantly and astronomically failed to ensure that it creates the space, or rather it delivers healthcare sufficiently to the common mwananchi. So in terms of the preparedness of how we handle our healthcare, so what are you saying? It's kind of like an insult, public insult to Kenyan people when you seem to be fast responders when a Western nation, as powerful as the America, or, as the United States of America, seeks for asylum, or not asylum, seeks for fast respondent, that setup, the base in Laikipia, yet you're putting the Kenyan people at risk, and for sure that there is no way for you to be able to deal with the health, the healthcare issues that have been happening and the systemic dysfunctions that has been specifically prevailing within the healthcare system in our nation. So that's one of the major concerns of this thing. And then we also had some of the things that also angered Kenyans. One of the things is President Ruto came out and said that indeed he was the one who supported they're having like a support place. What is that called? It's like a quarantine system or a quarantine unit at the Laikipia Air Base. And so he did own up to that. Which the court order that came out after that, which the High Court extends orders blocking the setting up of the Ebola isolation unit and admission into Kenya of persons exposed to or infected with Ebola. State directed to make public the secret agreement with the US. And one of the things that is precarious about this is you do not put Kenyans in harm's way, especially with a matter as grievous as Ebola. And you know how highly contagious it is. We are talking about hours. There are people who have contracted Ebola, and within hours they are done, like they are gone. So, the rationale behind their having Americans coming to this country and having a space where they can be quarantined, it really does not make sense to me. It does not make sense even on any given grounds, because it's an insult to the Kenyan people. I think there has been a lot of concerns, but for me, the biggest thing is that it's an insult to the Kenyan people. And then, of course, there's the issue of sovereignty. And the reason as to why I don't think that that argument holds water in this particular scenario is that if you think as a sovereign nation, you can make decisions that put the Kenyan people, because let's flip the script, and it was Kenyans who were having Ebola outbreaks. I don't think there would be anything like quarantining or looking for another country where they could be quarantined. It probably would have been a deportation at that particular point. I don't know what would have happened, but it would not have been the same way that Kenya responded to this thing. So when you talk about sovereignty and, we have bilateral and unilateral relationship with the United States of America, and they are our ally, I get that. But sovereignty at the expense of the freedom of the people, at the expense of the dignity of the people that you have been put in charge to serve first, primarily, it's away with it. For me, I honestly do not think that Kenya is necessarily a sovereign nation when you juxtapose it to the international, in terms of the diplomatic ties that we have, and especially with the West. So, and then there's also the issue of the quickness towards answering to the needs of other nations, the quickness to answering other people's needs over your own people. Yeah, I mean, we are talking about your own country, then it doesn't really set right, it doesn't sit right with me. And of course, this has been a lot of the conversations that have been happening online, is the fact that we are not even prepared just as a for response, whether we have the right healthcare facilities to be able to deal with in case there has been an Ebola outbreak. We saw even during COVID pandemic, we also that we are not in a position, we are not in terms of our preparedness in terms of our healthcare facilities, we do not have the resources. And then on top of that, the other thing that I found to be very disturbing is the PS of healthcare. His name is Mr. Ouma. He was on a TV station giving, an interview. And, the hosts of the TV show kept asking him, so where are we in terms of a country, in terms of our preparedness, in terms of like this whole entire thing? Why is it that, first of all, there was a deal that did not involve Kenyans? We were not consulted. And that it's something as grievous as Ebola. And even if it was not something as grievous as Ebola, anything to do with healthcare, because, bioweapons and everything, that is a conversation for a different day. But so there was a lot of questioning about why is it that we do not have, for example, the public awareness and the consultation that needed to have taken place for the public to be aware that this was going to happen. And then he kept saying, I did not come here as as a representative of the government. I came here to answer questions regarding the healthcare system. So it was a lot of deflecting, which I also do not appreciate, which I was saying earlier, that it is indeed a continuous symptom of people that do not trust their government. Now, as if that is not enough, the KMPDU, that's the Kenya Medical Doctors and Practitioners Union, their chairperson, I forget his name, he also came in, of course, as you would, to respond to the matter on the same show in a very well-known TV station here. And the conversation went a little bit like this. They also found a way to bring out the issues of doctors do not have jobs. And so instead of them discussing the issue at hand, which is Ebola, which is our preparedness, which is our rapid response, which is containment rates and everything else, he saw that as an opportunity to come and talk about the fact that the government needs to create more jobs for Kenyan doctors, because again, in response to this entire thing, which apparently the American doctors are the ones who are supposed to be first respondent. And I'm like, really? On a national platform? We already know that, of course, there's that is definitely something that we should be having endless conversations to talk about. But really, milking a situation as grievous as the Ebola outbreak and coming and using it to come and vouch for your union or to come and vouch for the KMPDU and start deflecting the story towards we do not have enough jobs. And I'm not saying that the government should not be held accountable and for us to demand better for ourselves in terms of like where are the jobs for the Kenyan people. But that sort of continuous rhetoric of always deflecting, where we have such a bad culture in Kenya where when one thing arises, we always tie it with the other and the other and the other. And again, don't hear what I'm not saying. We have to give a 360 approach to the problems because, again, it's systemic. So it's not just about Ebola. It's about a healthcare system that is not working for the people, all right? And so for me, just looking at the rhetoric that has been happening online, looking at even Kenyans' views online and seeing just where we are as a country, I think it's something that we need to be super vigilant about. And I'm going to have a conversation about it in depth next week with the Katiba Institute, because we have to quite understand the legal aspect of it, the legal aspect of regulating healthcare and what we need to do. Then we also will talk about, is it even governance if we are not centering, caring of the people that have put you in the positions of power, right? So that's a conversation that we have to get to. But you can grab your copy of the Daily Nation and read that story on page 4 and 5. And then the other thing that also came out of that is, of course, what happens when something is not working for the Kenyan people. We go out to the streets and we fight, right? And so there were protests in Wanyoike, and unfortunately, 2 people were killed. Now tell me, why would we even be talking about a death of 2 people because they were out on the streets demonstrating for something that is pertinent to their very own livelihoods? I mean, you have to be absolutely out of your mind, And also, we also had a staging of protest yesterday in Nairobi, for which the message is pretty simple, that we can't continue having a government that sort of finds its people very disposable, because that's the thing. It's the disposability of the citizenry that for the longest time the Kenyan government has been toying with. And I think Kenyans are tired, and it's enough is enough is enough. And tying it to even the resistance that has been happening on Monday, we did see a protest that had been staged by the women of Kenya. And the one thing that I think for me stood out is even seeing men at this protest, which was obviously against femicide and pedicide, which of course is something else that has been happening. And by the way, we're talking about a report that says up to 15,000 kids had been lost between January and now, which is June. That's 6 months into the year 2026. And it's very scary times that we are living in, very scary times that we are constantly finding ourselves in, So that the march happened, for sure, it did happen. And I truly hope that the message is loud and clear there, because when you listen to the women that were even speaking during the protest and some of the, again, conversations that were happening online, is the continuous frustration by Kenyans by the failure of the government to hold especially the perpetrators of this violence, which more times than not is gender-based violence against women. So we have issues to do with sexual assault, even murdering. We've had so many countless stories of women that have been murdered in the hands of their once lovers. Sometimes it's usually spouses, boyfriends, an uncle, friend, like anyone at this particular point. And so, yeah, it was just a solemn moment of just reflecting as a nation, just where we are. Why is it that we keep failing systems in our country? Then, as if to be so tone deaf, across the nation, all the way in northeastern at Wajir, there were very splendid celebrations of Madaraka Day, while people in Nairobi were out here protesting. And I'm like, this government can be really tone deaf. They can really, really be tone deaf. It's just like, why are we even celebrating? 63 years into Madaraka, we talk about independence, and I'm just like, there is really nothing to celebrate quite of yet. So it's to think about the different scenarios. I was even watching on a split screen. It's like Wajir is happening, but I'm also seeing people on the street protesting, and I'm like, these two different scenarios are sort of the story of Kenya, where you're constantly having to grapple with, this is how the state sees Kenya, and so they give you what they think the state of Kenya should be. And then we have the people and the cry and the demands of the people and the constant failure of the government to meet the Kenyan people at their point of need, you know? So it was an interesting thing to think about and to just kind of think about and grapple with. But this is the country that we all have created. And I'm sorry, it's all of us. All of us have had a part to play in the way things are right now. So it's either we are not angry enough, it's either we are not just mad and crazy enough about making sure that we go out to the streets. Whatever needs to happen has to happen, so that we can at least have a shot at salvaging a nation that could be functional. And I think for the first time ever, I do not know about Kenya, before independence and world, all that. But all I know is that the one that we have right now is our shot to ensure that things are working out for our good. And that, ladies and gentlemen, leads to the end of our conversation today on Power, on the news roundup. When we come back, my guests are already with me in studio. We are going to get into a conversation about how do we now find solutions for all these problems. You know, I'm here sort of ranting, talking about how much our systems have failed us, how much they are failing us, and how they will continue to fail us. I don't want to be a prophet of doom, but I can already tell you that it's not necessarily going to get better. So we are going to be talking about voter registration and why is it important for us to center our democratic right, and most especially young women, right? So we are going to be getting to that conversation. So if you have anything that you would like to ask my guests regarding the mainstreaming of young women when it comes to the democratic process, make sure you do so. The hashtag to use is hashtag Power Morning Drive. Get us on all our socials, that is Power Radio. Call us in live on 0748379231. Let's get this conversation going. For now, I jump into some music. We'll be right back with our conversation this morning.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Here's a mama hewa, man. Extra. I look at me in my nice night. Nico, I look at me in a smile. I feel good, I feel nice, I feel good, I'm alright. I feel good, I'm alright. That's nice. Kitu gani kitanitenganisha? Wema wako umeni weka wima, love yako nayo imeni weka hinya. Niko spirit filled, feeling like a winner. Jaja mi niko na jaja mi, siezi jam mi, reason I'm jam mi. Sina ujanja mi, niko na jaja mi, ameni jaja mi, reason I'm jam mi. I feel good, I feel nice, I feel good, I'm alright. I feel good, I'm alright. That's nice. I look at me in my nice night. Nico, I look at me in a smile. Here's a mama hewa, man. Hands in the air if you love in Jesus. Hands in the air if you believe in Jesus. Jump to the air, let's praise Jesus. Make some noise if you follow Jesus. Hands in the air if you love in Jesus. Hands in the air if you believe in Jesus. Jump to the air, let's praise Jesus. Make some noise if you follow Jesus. I look at me in my nice night. Nico, I look at me in a smile. I feel good, I feel nice, I feel good, I'm alright. I feel good, I'm alright. That's nice. Here's a mama hewa, man.
Mama Luke, yule iweta inene, we umwe wale, makire kurale. Muke hana, mahoa mehakaine, muke rutolola, uko marimaine. Nasianyu, ukisigaera kehara, ya gutengera, udaka mupira. Newadekirwa, wera wa thirikari, bururi mwethe, waihurite mieke. Watunyirwa wera na pesa ciaritaya, na nyumba yako irahurirwo munara. Nyohoro wakĩeha mũno, ono gĩcurũria mbeca ciaku rũthingo-inĩ. Watahona keroli, watiwona rokobo, kioneki yaku tutigetiganiria. Matuko maige, na mageteo, oheo utore.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Man.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. That is Mama Luka, Eric Wainaina, and it is playing right here on Power Radio. This is a Power Morning Drive show. My name is Wanyoike, and you are just in time for our conversation today. We are going to be talking about voter registration, but beyond voter registration, we're going to be talking about the feminization of politics, and we're also going to be talking about the mainstreaming of especially young women in the democratic processes and in the governance spaces. And my guests are already in studio with me. I'm going to be letting them to introduce themselves in a little while, but I have to tell you, if you have any questions for them, please do reach us on our social media and also on our number that is 074-8379-231. You can also get us on socials. That's Power Radio, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, or X, depending on where or what, which generation you come from. And you can also find us on our YouTube channel. We are currently live. Make sure you subscribe and be part of the conversation. Yeah, right. Let's get right into it. Now, I want my guests to introduce themselves. They'll tell us their names, and then we will get right into our chat this morning. And we'll start with the one on my immediate left. Karibu sana Power Radio.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Maureen Chepchirchir. I am a student at JQuat, a student leader.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
Yeah, and the one on my extreme left.
Good morning. My name is Mulinge Alice, a student leader, emeritus, president, African Nazarene University, and I'm still actively participating in student leadership. Thank you for having me today.
Anyway, emeritus. Wow, we've already started with big names. Well, this is about to be a presidential conversation.
Oh, it is.
Okay, Madam President. How long is the term for presidency at Nazarene?
Just one term.
One term. So when you were one term.
But I served before as an academic secretary.
Okay. Yeah, that's exciting. Are you in the student body, leadership?
Yeah, I am the current academic secretary.
Okay.
The first female in office.
The first female in office. Oh my goodness. We whoop whoop. First of all, congratulations on you both. Yeah, and thank you for being making a difference. And let's even talk just a little bit about that. Of course, the conversation that we are having today is Baddies kwa Ballot, which in collaboration with Badili Africa, shout out to y'all. Everybody there at Badili Africa, led by, what's her name? Bina Maseno, yes. I don't know why I forget. Asanteni sana kwa kazi mzuri ambayo mnafanya. But even just right off the your experience as student leaders, for example, you as the first one. I mean, what was your sort of journey into this role that had never had a female ever in all the history of JQuat? And JQuat has been in existence for how long?
Well, the tertiary institution, which is now the JQuat University itself, has had, this is the 10th JQuSA Congress.
Oh, wow.
Yes, but
So
then
10
before
years.
this, I think it was a TVET or something, or a Nini. So it did have, I'm guessing maybe at that period, it might have had a female, but in it turning into a university now, I am the first female, and of which there have been 10 congresses. This is the 10th Congress now. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So what was your journey? I mean, first of all, do you feel that sort of heavy responsibility upon you to just kind of be like, and I know it's a very unfair question to ask, because like men don't get asked this, but for context, I have to ask this because, you're the first girlie to be on, sitting with the boys, which that can be its own conversation. But like, how are you navigating this entire space? Is it a lot of pressure?
Okay, so let's start with when I decided to vie for this seat.
Yeah.
I chose a seat that was a bit more in tune with who I was as a person. So my personality did play a big role in the seat that I chose. Now, did it come with a lot of pressure? Yes, it did. Because I wasn't just vying just for me and maybe my team to get into office. I was vying for the millions of females who would want to come in after me.
Yeah.
And I was hoping to feminize that seat, to make it a bit more friendly for the females, to make them feel like they could go for the seats, they had potential to win, that it was not specifically meant for one gender, that if you wanted it, you could go for it. So getting into this, I did have to carry myself in a certain type of way. I think it reminded me of being a mother. You know, you're not just thinking about yourself, you're thinking about the people who are supposed to come in after you. I think there's also the aspect of, I don't know if I'm allowed to do that, but let me use Samia Suluhu. When whatever happened in Tanzania happened, it wasn't just a blame on her as a person. It was a blame as women in general. Why? You see, I think the most quote I had about around that time was, do you see what happens when women get into power? So right now, it's not just about the criticism that I will receive as a person. It's about the criticism that my gender will receive. It's about the criticism that will walk in after the millions. I have the opportunity to either create this way for the ladies who come in after me, or I have the opportunity to burn that bridge and ensure it is a male-dominated area. So it's also just, I think my Congress is also the first to have the female majority, the 4 out of 7. So I think it's also just trying to create spaces where female feel the need or the capability that they can actually go for this these positions. Because when I look at the other seats, there are 3 seats. There is the presidency, the secretary general, and the sports. Have never had females in it. And I think my call out is just to show women that, you know, you can be the first in some things. You don't have to wait for men to set the pace and then follow it. You can just choose to begin yourself and people will find you there. I think at the same time, it did also give me a certain type of courage. That's why I think earlier I said it made me not be afraid to do things and be the first, you know. Be the first in whatever dreams you have. Be the first to chase them. Be the first. It doesn't matter. Just be the first.
Right.
And even if you're not able to be the first, at least try to be the first. Because for me to have tried, there was a lady, her name is Gloria Munyiva, who came in before me. She tried and she created that environment to allow me to try.
I love
and
that.
Go for that.
Yeah. And Alice, I mean, you're a whole president, you know, at African Nazarene University. How many students are you in total?
Roughly 4,000 to
4,000. That's not a small job. It's definitely a big girl job. How have you been navigating that, and how has it, what would you say has been the most transformative part about being the school president at your university?
Well, thank you for that question.
Yeah.
I believe, as Maureen has said, personality really shapes the type of leader you're going to be. And I kind of feel like being in leadership as president has been a very interesting journey for me. I have got to learn to grow as a person, be a better person, and know that the responsibility that falls on women is so different as compared to how men are viewed as leaders in the society and in the community at large. Because, you see, there are double standards for women in leadership. They are going to expect you to do a lot. And being a female president, I had to ensure that, as Maureen has said, my gender is well represented. They're going to be saying great things about women in leadership. And I think Faith Odhiambo is a very good inspiration for me because she was serving as the LSK president, and looking up to her, could see how she used to stand up for the country at large, ensure that she's vocal about issues, and that is what, and the person that I have been the person I have been wanting to be while I was serving as president, to be the vocal woman who is gonna advocate for students' needs, not just in school, but also outside the school, be the representative of my whole society, my whole community, to ensure that when women are fronted as leaders, we do not just see weak people, but we see people who are capable of the roles that they are given in society.
And by the way, I also think it's important to keep checking some of the narratives, I beg your pardon, that we deal with women in society as, like, you know, there's nothing like a female president. You are a president that just happens to be a female or a woman, right? And I think that kind of becomes very reductive to the work that you're doing. But moving away from that, now let's shift gears to the national conversation, which is voter registration, and especially among young women. So Badili Africa came up with this amazing, I think alongside Mzalendo and other amazing organizations within the CSO space, came together and created this Baddies kwa Ballot campaign. And the aim of it is to, just as the name goes, is to basically mainstream the idea of creating the space for young women to exercise their democratic rights and get them registered as voters. So I don't know how it worked. Did Badili reach out to you, or did you reach out to them to be able to be part of this conversation and to be a facilitator of the Baddies kwa Ballot, especially on campus within the JKUAT student fraternity? So you'll tell us about how that journey sort of happened, and then how why did it interest you, or why was it so attractive to you from the get-go that you decided that, you know what, this is something that I actually think is absolutely pertinent and I have to be part of the conversation in ensuring that young women that are in school get registered as voters. Yeah.
Okay, so Badili did come up with the original idea of Baddies kwa Ballot, and they reached out to the students, especially because we are people who they've already been working with, so it was easier to work through us. But they also did extend it to the majority of Kenyans, the ladies outside who wanted to take part in this. They did through a video that was, you were supposed to post a video on why it is necessary for you to be a Baddie kwa Ballot, and whoever got the most likes, or whoever had the most content rather, would obviously get the prize that was being given at that time. So at this point, it wouldn't just be about educating the masses in general, but it would also be emphasizing on the need for baddies actually applying and, taking that opportunity to either go and get your voters registration card, or to actually decide that you want to vie. And I think the best thing about Badili is they don't just reach out to anyone in general. They specifically try to look for ladies who are looking into getting into these positions, and then through them help them connect them to the bigger majority. So in my case, they reached out to me, and then my work was now to find ladies who would be interested in things like this, and then adapt them into Baddies kwa Ballot. But Baddies kwa Ballot was generally, for me, it was an awesome idea, because I think the majority of the times us as Gen Z, especially ladies, like using is we are baddies.
Yeah.
So it just didn't come off as something that was attracting us politically. It was also something that was attracting us
socially.
Generationally. Yeah, socially. It was something we could interact with and communicate about, and joke around. And at the end of the day, it became like an accountability. Are you a baddie who's on the ballot? So yes or no.
Yeah. What makes a baddie for kwa ballot?
What makes a baddie kwa ballot?
Yeah.
I think for me, what baddie means is a lady who wants to make her own decisions, who wants to come out and who wants to be able to voice out and speak for whatever she stands for. So Baddie kwa Ballot was basically meaning, you see that way that you like being opinionated, the way that you want to, voice your problems, stand on business, then that's the same thing we want you to do kwa Ballot. Don't just be the person who speaks outside and says, do this, do that, but you don't want to be politically oriented, because at the end of the day, we do say that even if you don't vote, even if you don't want to take part in politics, it's still going to bite you back in the ass.
Yeah.
So Baddies kwa Ballot was a call out to the ladies of, you know what, yes, you're educated, yes, you're smart, yes, you're beautiful and all of that, but we also want you to be oriented around politics, and we want you to come out strong, and we want you to be a Baddie kwa Ballot.
Right. What about you? What got you interested in this campaign?
So there's one thing that as young people, we never understand, that if you are not registered as a voter, you cannot vote. And if you cannot vote, you are easily ignored. Your issues are easily pushed away. So by around March 2026 this year, only around 67,888 people had registered as voters, young women particularly. So it became so worrying, because we have the numbers, but we're not registering. do we really want to shape the conversations that are gonna shape our lives? So I think it's something that I did subscribe to because I want to be the change that the nation is needing at the moment. That's why I took part in the Baddies kwa Ballot initiative or campaign. Yeah.
Are you a baddie kwa Ballot?
Oh yes, I am.
Most definitely. She's clocking it. Let me help my millennials. This is clocking it, yeah? And they'll tell us because now we're in a completely different generation. But I want to stick with you, Alice, yeah? And when you think about the whole idea of feminizing politics, which of course extensively Badili Africa is doing, and we thank them for that, what are some of the barriers that have stood, for the longest time in the way of women, and especially young women, that has made them maybe not necessarily feel like this political space and the political landscape belongs to them? And how do we ensure that we create more, I guess, attractive approaches, if I could use a colloquial, which is pinkify politics, How do we pinkify politics? Because as you've said, it matters and it should matter to women most especially, yeah.
When we talk about the barriers, there are lots of gender stereotypes that we encounter. One, people tend to say that politics is a rough game for women and a dirty game. Ironically, the people who tend to say so benefit out of the absence of women from the political spaces. Two, politics is patriarchal in some sense. Liberal feminists and radical feminists are going to argue that way in philosophy, that the political foundations were built by men and for men. And you remember the former CS Health Mutai Kagwe used to say, if we continue behaving normally, this disease is going to treat us abnormally. And I think the patriarchal
we seems to have forgotten about that because of the Ebola outbreak. Anyway, that's a conversation on the side.
The fact that we normalized the political space being male-dominated, we inherited the systems up to date to a point that we feel like these are male-only spaces, to a point that when women appear in such spaces, they appear as, I'd say, cheerleader squads, rather than the real participants and the real decision makers in these spaces. Again, let's talk about the online harassment that comes with it, the abuse that comes with you participating in political activities. They're going to shame you. They're going to bring out a lot of abuse in regards to things that are not related even to the position that you're going for, because just you're a woman. Yeah. Those are some of the barriers that we face as women in politics.
Right.
Yeah.
Maureen, when you have conversations with the young women, even on campus, specifically when it comes to their political decisions, what are some of the most surprising things that you have maybe heard from them in terms of, because we are not just going on the ballot to register as, when it comes to 2027, it's about issues. We are voting in leaders that can create a functioning Kenya for all of us. But then again, as we are saying, there has been a lot of gaps in terms of like political education. We do not have enough of that. And so we do tend to find that there is a big number, especially of young women, who are not necessarily well informed about some of the issues that happen within the governance and political space. So what are some of been the surprising things that have come out from the conversations that we've had? And how do we ensure that we are creating more holistic approaches to ensure a well-informed citizenry, but also a well-informed voters bloc, specifically for young women?
I think what keeps on surprising me whenever I talk to ladies, especially when I'm trying to tell them to go for these positions to vie, is the reasons they give me for not vying. I remember there's a time I asked someone, why aren't they going for a higher position? And I remember they told me, men do not like leading under women. So for example, if I decide to vie as a president, no man would like to vie as my vice. Because they do not like being under women or listening to women. And I remember asking her, but if you continue considering what men want, when are we ever going to work for what women want? I don't think any position comes with presidency for men, whatever for men. There's nothing like that. All of these positions are open, and you get the opportunity to decide whether you actually want to go for it or not. But I don't think at any point you should lower the fact that you simply want to go for a lower position to accommodate a man.
Yeah.
And I think something else that continues to surprise me is how much women fear the sexual harassment, especially online, and everything else that comes with the environment of being a politician. Because I promise you, every single time a woman comes into this space, the first thing that they have to worry about is what's going to be leaked next. Is it going to be that relationship that ended? Is it going to be nudes I have allegedly? Or is it going to be someone simply saying I'm incompetent because I am a woman? And I think if there's one thing that I keep on saying is I have never understood the mantra of women do not support women, which it is partially true, yes. But then I keep on trying to tell people that, yes, even if this thing is true, you can't simply not decide to go for office simply because you think your own gender will not support you. There are ladies who will support you. There are men who will back you. There are people who will stand with you regardless. So I think these are just some of the things that to me are shaping the kind of political world women are getting into.
Yeah.
And I think how we can try and, set that aside and maybe create a new environment for women is make them, I like saying, maybe you should be hard-headed, Stop caring about what people are saying. Stop caring about what's going to be exposed, what's going to happen here and there.
Yeah.
Because if we keep caring, then at no point are we going to have a female president in Kenya. At no point are we going to have a female deputy. That's why I keep on asking, in institutions such as universities, it is compulsory for when, let's say, for example, a man is vying as the head, then a female to come in as a deputy, or if the woman is vying as a head, then the man to come in as a deputy. Why that doesn't apply to our political state in Kenya or in anything in general, just to ensure also that we're not just we're also considering gender. We're giving the opportunity for women to have this post, but instead we're so focused on what people want that we forget that you should consider what you want as you yourself.
Yeah. And I think, it's high time that we really, really look towards the way of women leading because of that thing exactly, that women, because of our nurturing tendencies, we tend to think about everybody else. So even with nations, and you've seen it with Rwanda, for example, they have the highest members of parliament in Rwanda being women. And no wonder the country is the way that it is. We're talking about a country that 32 years ago was in absolute desolation after the genocide, complete plunder, and how they have been able to bounce back and women have been centered in the leadership. It's because we tend to think about a more diversified approach of so when you come into maybe the healthcare system, you're thinking as a mom. So of course Ebola and the nonsense that has happened there could not even be happening if a woman was on that seat. Of course that is very naive of me to say, because again it's not I don't think the issue is it's not a women issue, it's a people issue. And I think that's the discussion that gets lost in translation. But coming to you, Alice, I wonder what has been the response back at Nazarene, especially because, of course, right now I'm thinking it's mostly Gen Zs, that are in school, and which then translates into these are first-time voters. So has there been excitement within the student body of Nazarene? Do we have numbers? How many people have you been able to register since the rollout of the voter registration happened? And what has been the response from especially young women, but also just generally? What are the young people kwa ground Nazarene wanasema nini?
I think as a student body, we decided to partner with IABC. We had a cultural week at around the 23rd to the 27th of March this year. And so we decided that we are going to bring them on board to ensure that every student who has a national ID or a passport is going to register as a voter.
Right.
Why? Because we keep on saying that our parents are the ones who failed us, that the reason why we are in this mess.
Yeah.
So what can we do as young people? We are going to be the change that we want to see. We are going to be the people who are going to change the status quo. I think we are so frustrated to a point that we are frustrated by the status quo to a point that we really want we have the push to change how things are done in our country. And because of that, we really had a good turnout of people registering as voters in the institution.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good thing. It's a great response from our student body in general to see how people really want to take part in civic participation. Civic participation has really grown in our campuses. Institutions are playing a key role when it comes to civic participation, which is a great thing that we have seen. Yeah.
Do we have numbers? Do you know?
We do have numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, certainly we do have numbers.
Yeah.
And I
so
think,
far, how many? Do you know? Are you sure about the exact?
I'm not quite sure of the figures. But in Kajiado North, the target that was given was around 15,000 for the ECVR one. And we passed that. We had, I think, 17,000 newly registered voters, which shows that people really want to participate in the 2027 general elections.
Yes.
Because I remember, as young people, we understand that the 2027 general elections are going to shape the policies that are going to be passed for the next 5 years.
We hope.
The education funding models, the health policies, sexual reproductive health policies, talk about the economic and youth opportunities that are going to come. So if we continue remaining silent, our silence is going to cost us the policy changes and the policy wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you? How is it in JKUAT? Numbers, how is the response?
I think we also had the same thing. IBC came over for a couple of days. And the turn-up was really good. I remember at some point when I was talking to someone, I had to ask them, are you? And if not, then I would just direct them to the student center where they would go and get registered. So I know they're very good numbers. I think my problem comes in with whether we are actually going to vote based on, how educated we are, or whether we're still going to go back to our old ways. I like the fact that she said something. She said, we were complaining that our parents are the problem. But unfortunately, there's a very high chance we are going to be the same problem. Because even in campus politics, we still play tribal.
As early as now?
Yeah, we're still playing. That's something that's still happening.
Is a setup
we're playing
for disaster.
tribal.
Yeah.
So when you tell me that we have registered as voters, I understand that. Yes, we might have, 40 million registered voters or something. But at the end of the day, if we're still going to vote based on how our parents have been voting, then we're not really trying to change the country, are we? We're still going back to the roots, and then our parents stop becoming the problem. We now, all of us, become the problem. So I think having the numbers is not the issue. I think the issue is whether people are educated enough on how to vote or how they're going to vote, or whether we're going to be fronting... let me use Maraga as an example, and then we're going to be saying he has no charisma. Or in your case, if you're voting for Ruto and then you say this and this just to, not give him credit. Or, for example, if you're voting for Ruto, you're going to say he's the only presidential candidate who is reasonable enough to vie for presidency, So at the end of the day, we might have the numbers, but we're not educated enough to actually make the right decision when it comes to voting kwa ballot. So I think just how much we've put in effort to get people registered is the same amount of effort we should put in to get people educated. Because what's the need of having numbers when everyone is still going to vote for the same person we're trying to get out of office? And I think at the end of it all, it's just also a constant reminder that it's not the presidency seats that we're only focusing on. We're also focusing on that MCA, we're focusing on that MP. Because at the end of the day, they're the people who pass these bills in parliament. They're the ones who sit down, and they're the ones who I would say are the brains behind it. So if at the end of the day, we are also focused on removing one person in office, and we forget that there are so many other people who play that role, then I think we're still losing the way. I think that's why I keep on telling people, yes, I understand you want to remove this person in office, but I also want you to sit down and talk to that MCA. I want you to sit down and talk to that MP, to that women representative, so that we don't have cases like femicide and the children getting lost, and yet we're not hearing any female voices. All of them are quiet. We're just waiting for men to now start saying, oh, it is AI.
It is AI. That was crazy business. Right. Tell you what, that's a good place to take our first break right here on the Power Morning Drive Show. If you're just joining us, you're just in time for our conversation. Well, a lot has been spoken about. We are in the midst and the bones of discussing everything to do with mainstreaming gender, especially young women, in ensuring that we are sustaining the conversation for the ongoing voter registration? And what does that look like for young women in this nation? We will take a short break now, but when we come back, we continue with our conversation. Please, if you have questions, I've already started seeing some of the questions coming in. Make sure you send them in, and my guests are definitely going to answer them. See you in just a moment.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
You guys, this one a good one. A good one, 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 this one. A good one. You guys, Punet, Kolo, Busiox, I'll see you back in the days. Let's go, 1, 2, twende kazi. Mini mugenge na pitaga na zile ziko maji zimebleki na kata maji kifika mabis nimebleki niko fiti nimekula makuki na makeki. Oh yes, baby nimesete sete napendaga zile zimesete jicho nyanya. Oh yeah, wale wamesete zimesunga tu kwa kibete. Simama wacha kukatika kwenye kete kete, wacha kujisunga tu kwa kete. Tunajua genge ilishanivisha pete. Mina piga miti weni mate, mina piga miti weni pate pate pate. Boss mazo sinitoke, kuna tos anataka tu niende kwake. Maso sema kebab yendio mkate. Boss wacha mpiga mate. You got that denda. She can really get a good one. You got that denda. She can give you a good one. You got that denda. She can really get a good one. You got that denda. She can give you a good one. Walava is out. What's really cracking like it? Age that denda. Can you me meeting? Cause she can get it. Shorty knows I ain't playing. Now she's the reason all of the fellas are saying
Bona, Bogi Benda. Amebeba vile miwaga napenda. Cheki nikirusha that shy guy. Najua anapendaga that sly guy.
Niko area ka length times width. Sina height but anapenda my length, she admits. One of us has to be the short one in the relationship, so I'ma take one for the team.
Tunawatembelea, tunawagongea. Wanabaki mutaani wakituongea. Tulinyemelea, tukakagua, tukaacha mtaani wametolea.
You got that denda. She can really get a good one. You got that denda. She can give you a good one. You got that denda. She can really get a good one. You got that denda. She can give you a good one. She can get it. She can give you. She can get it. She can give you. She can get it. She can give you. And that's why I'm Yemelea. Baby, do the math, add the beds of close, divide the legs, let's multiply. Haina mbulu piga hesabu. Karizo as a Yemelea. We on fire, Mayday, tunateketea, baby. Yo, this is my motto, katia demo moto, wacha chalia shike moto, ushashinda loto. Yo, never ever msoto, niko time, yani pronto, daktari loliondo. Yo, mchezo weka kande, you guys. Olomide silence. Miu wapigisha makelele sirens. Mstari ziko juu, sema rhyme sense. Nipate juu ya maji kama Hisense. You guys.
Yes boss, mi ndio sauce. Kusosi mi uanzaga na main course. You guys. She'll get it of course. Always on track and never off course.
You got that denda. She can really get a good one. You got that denda. She can give you a good one. You got that denda. She can really get a good one. You got that denda. She can give you a good one. You got Yemelea. And that's why I'm Yemelea. You got I'm Yemelea, and that's why I'm Yemelea. You got, and that's why she can hear. This is what I call the Fantastic Four. Gabu, Thrasher, Bona, and Kolo. Let's take it away. Take it away. You guys, you know Juicy went to the club, huh? There was an Adenda who was rocking me. Mad, you guys.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Love child on the case. Oh na na na, oh na na na. Hey, some rubber dubbing now in life once again. Oh na na na, oh na na na. Hey, college. Me na yeah, me na yeah. Me na yeah, me na yeah. She tell me nothing could have break our love, never going nowhere. Me na yeah. Me na yeah, me na yeah. Me na yeah, me na yeah. She tell me nothing could have break our love, never going nowhere. Me na yeah. Tangu yeah patane na mimi, hakuna tu wengine ni sisi wawili. Kwangu ni wa kwanza na sio wa pili. Hiyo ndio form kwani iko nini? No say that she love a boy and nobody compare. Truly she deserve when we call her my dear. When you're ready for your lifetime, take it right there. Me there for you baby anytime, anywhere. Me na yeah, me na yeah. Me na yeah, me na yeah. She tell me nothing could have break our love, never boy nowhere. Me na yeah. Me na yeah, me na yeah. Me na yeah, me na yeah. She tell me nothing could have break our love, never boy nowhere. Me na yeah. Maboy wangu siku hizi wanadai, mbona tukuoni siku hizi una time? Yo, afadhali niambiwe sepa side, sabu mimi niko na wewe. On top of the world, me lonely, so baby me need you. Ukinipa tu nafasi baby utajiju. Basi wachana nao waliona wivu, sabu mimi niko na wewe. Me na yeah, me na yeah. Me na yeah, me na yeah. She tell me nothing could have break our love, never going nowhere. Me na yeah. Me na yeah, me na yeah. Me na yeah, me na yeah. She tell me nothing could have break our love, never going nowhere. Me na yeah. Tangu yeah patane na mimi, hakuna tu wengine ni sisi wawili. Kwangu ni wa kwanza na sio wa pili. Hiyo ndio form kwani iko nini? No say that she love a boy and nobody compare. Truly she deserve when we call her my dear. When you're ready for your lifetime, take it right there. Me there for you baby anytime, anywhere. Me na yeah, me na yeah. Me na yeah, me na yeah. She tell me nothing could have break our love, never boy nowhere. Me na yeah. Me na yeah, me na yeah. Me na yeah, me na yeah. She tell me nothing could have break our love, never boy nowhere. Me na yeah. Me na yeah. Me na yeah. Me na yeah. She tell me nothing could have break our love, never boy nowhere. Me na yeah.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
All right, that is the love child, Mr. Waire, and it's Mimi na ye because it's Mimi na we, it's Sisi na we, right here on Power Radio. We are talking about women, feminization of politics. We're talking about I hate to use this term, but gender mainstreaming for the sake of our conversation today. My guests are still with me in studio. And before we went on a break, we had touched on some very key, aspects of of involving women, rather creating and opening up space for especially young women to get into their democratic rights and to exercise their civic duty in terms of voter registration and all that. So if you've missed out on that, don't worry, just go back to our YouTube channel and get the conversation as it is unfolding. But there's something that I want to we had touched on earlier. And I listening to a lot of women, especially women in the political landscape. You hear about horror stories of what they have had to go through, even as they vie. That is pre, during, and sometimes after. So this is a little bit touchy, but I would just like to hear from you, Maureen. Let's start with you. What are some of the very, I guess, egregious is the word that comes to mind, experiences that you have had to deal with as a young woman vying for a top position in a school of over 40,000 people?
I think I can start with before. So before, there's always the uncertainty of whether you are ready for office, whether you fit into the shoes that people already have set, or the standard that people have already set for you, especially as a woman trying into a field that's usually first. So I remember the first things that when I decided to vie, I told a couple of people, and some people came with me at, but you're a feminist. People will not vote for you because you're a feminist. And then further into, after we applied, and now we need to start talking to people, telling them why they should vote for us. I remember there's someone who told me, I'll only vote for you because you're pretty. I remember there was a whole video that was made actually about someone saying, this time we're not voting for people simply because you're pretty. We're going to cover you with blankets so that people don't see your face. And I just remember sitting down and thinking, why is beauty a standard? I know. At the end of the day, it's going to be how I lead with my brain, not my beauty. My beauty is just an additional factor to who I am.
Yeah.
But it's not the whole entirety of who I am.
Somebody literally told you that I am voting for you because
of how I look.
My goodness.
Of,
Yeah.
And I remember there was also someone who said, now this was after I got into office, especially because, I come off as friendly, I come off as smiling, and I always try and be welcoming. I remember there's someone who came into my office and told me, so because now you're in office, and najua umeingia kwa hiyo ofisi ndio utoke block. And I remember just sitting down there and thinking, which block are you guys talking about? Whoever said I was in the block.
Yeah.
Why are you fitting me into standards of your life and not trying to learn about mine? And I remember there's also someone who told me, wewe ndo nakuja kwa ofisi yako, najua hapo ndio nakulia. So I think at the end of the day, people always still expect you to accommodate them,
Yeah,
people
with
still expect you.
Yeah.
I remember there's someone who also told me, during political season, when you're trying to get people to vote for you, you need to dress a certain type of way. You need to be official. You need to be dressed up in either pants or suits. And I remember I really tried to avoid that culture and still keep my fashion sense, which would mean coming in jerseys, coming in jeans, coming in skirts and all of that. But you still had to be dressed up. So I remember when I was done with politics, you just go back to your casual sweatpants and all of that. And I remember someone asking me, mbona siku hizi unavaa venye unataka? And in my head, I'm just like, why are there so many standards that are set? I don't think anyone ever asks this to the other gender.
No.
Why are there so many standards that are set for women that you need to look a specific type of way, that you need to talk a specific type of way, just for you to get a position? And I remember just sitting down and thinking, what would it take for me to be judged just on what I think? Remove the how I look, remove the way my body is good, remove the way I carry myself, I'm friendly. Just judge me based on how I think, because that's how you're going to judge men.
Yeah.
You're not going to post their nudes like you're going to post mine.
Yeah.
You're simply going to bash them based on what they've done in their previous life or what they've been doing, not based on how they look. And I remember I think at the end of that, you just go back to feeling so small because you've been put into a corner that necessitates that you're going to be voted for simply because of your appearance, but not because how you look. So at the end of the day, even when you get into that office, at the back of my mind, I think I'm always just based on, did you vote for me simply because I'm pretty, or did you vote for me because you saw that I'm a person of substance and I can actually make change in the office?
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely crazy. What about you, Alice?
I think my worst experience was being body shamed. I was so tiny. It happened when I was in my second year.
Sorry about that.
So I think it made me a strong person because at that time I was going for the academics secretary set. And did it affect me mentally? Yes, because it made me change my fashion test, my fashion sense. I started dressing in a bit baggy clothes to just hide my body. I don't know. But I became very comfortable with time. And because it made me strong when I was going for presidency, I never used to listen to what people used to say about me. But there's a pressure that comes with after winning. Because people are gonna say, wacha tuone sasa huyo dem atafanya nini. Manaona vile wanaume wame maintain standards ziko juu. Au madem wana acting na emotions. Wacha uone vile hiyo council itakuwa na a lot of conflicts. They really like bringing up that aspect. Emotions.
Yes,
yeah. Women are very chaotic. Women are problem makers. Things of that sort.
Yeah.
So there's the pressure that comes now. atafanya nini, will they really deliver? And I don't know if my face gives vibes kamtoto hivi.
Yes, you have a baby face.
So at times it's so hard for people to also take you seriously. And because I also had a male deputy, it's hard to also give instructions to men. I really have to say this, but patriarchy is a real thing. And I keep on saying that, and I will keep on saying that forever because I have experienced it. It's very hard to tell a man, you're supposed to do this. I'm supposed to delegate roles to men. And they're like, msichana sana niambia nini. Imagine. Yeah, so it's very tough. It's really tough at times.
Maureen is nodding aggressively. Tell us your experience with delegating to men and the emotions bit.
So I remember I was invited for this certain debate, and and I was seated there, and the topic was, it was a very interesting topic. It was a topic that I think was telling us something about GBV, I think. I'm not very sure. But then I remember the topic turned into a gender war.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was publicly.
It was very public. It turned out into a gender war, and I was the judge of that event. Oh. So I remember at the end of that event, I told them, I'm very disappointed in you. Because as educated people, how are we going back to gender wars when we were actually talking about how we as people can move the nation forward? How did it end on a gender war? And I remember one man stood up and told me, women who are in power are just going there to feel validated. They're only going there because they want power. They're only going there. And I remember just sitting down and I remember thinking, what? And in that same concept, in my seat, I have to delegate because I can't handle 44,000 people. So I remember I give people work, and then I tell them, okay, now this is something I'm expecting. I give them a deadline, and I'm like, for me to be able to do whatever I need to do on time, please ensure that you submit this and this on time. And I can tell you for a fact, people still haven't submitted. I literally have to go through their bosses to get them to actually do whatever it is that I want them to do. Men will not willingly listen to you. Some men will. I will give credit to people because some men will actually listen to you and bring things the first, and they will respect you as you are. But there are men who will not listen to a woman. You have to go through people to make them listen. You have to redo words. There's an assignment I gave a man, and up to date, I gave him like 2 months ago.
And it's still
not done.
Just by the mere fact that you're
that I'm the one. I'm pretty sure if someone else had given them that duty, he would have done it by now.
Yeah.
But now I have to go to call him out like, oh my God, why haven't you done this? And he still won't do it. At some point, I keep thinking that this is the same person who's planning on vying next year. And I'm just like, what? Why would you think that you're suitable to vie when you can't simply do an instruction where you're serving your people? You're not serving me, you're serving your people. Yeah. And it becomes so hard to delegate things to men because at the end of the day, you keep on thinking it's not going to be done in a certain type of way. It's going to be done in their own time and how they see fit, not how you see fit. Yeah. So at the end of the day, you're not just trying to govern people, you're trying to also instruct men who, in my opinion, are acting like babies.
Who in her opinion, they are acting like babies. And then it's the whole ego management. I don't know what your experience with that has been. It's like you're always constantly having to manage the egos of people, especially men, if you are a woman in leadership.
You have to be bossy as well. I mean, if you know that you are a woman who's a leader, you need to know that you're capable of instructing people and they have to listen to you. So you need to boss yourself up.
Yeah.
You need to understand that your voice matters and you have the power. That's how you can dominate those spaces.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I mean, we are almost running out of time. So let's conclude our conversation today. I mean, there's so many things that have come out of this conversation. We might need 5 more episodes to even talk about all those things. But even as you think about the moment that we are all bracing ourselves towards, which is the 2027 general elections. And I think you also did mention it earlier, Maureen, that yes, kukua kadi is great and all. It doesn't mean that people will necessarily show up at the ballot come 2027. So as we continue with our campaign of ensuring that we have as many people registered as voters, what would your word be to, I don't know, the government, the CSOs, anybody who is a well-wisher and wants to see this country being steered towards the right direction? What would you tell the young women, especially the young women who still do not see the value of them being politically informed, politically engaged, and how can we continue fostering these efforts to ensure that not anyone is left behind? Yeah.
I think my call out to the woman would be, at the end of the day, whatever is done in parliament, by the government, in any type of institution, whether you are working in universities, whether you're working in NGOs, at the end of the day, policies that are made are going to affect you one way or another. And it is only by us being in these spaces that we get to actually speak about policies that work for us, policies that are tuned to women. Because no man is going to sit down and pass a pad free because they do not understand the gravity of it.
Yes.
So unless we as women actually take the initiative of, taking up the spaces and talking about the problems that we have, then at the end of the day, we're not really ever going to be in those spaces. I think it's also just a reminder that, yes, the spaces are tough, but we are tougher. We have been raised in environments where we need to be men. So believe me when I tell you, you are capable of going for those seats. You're capable of being the first. You're capable of actually changing. And actually, I think at the end of the day, when one woman decides to stand up, there are women who stand up behind her. So at the end of the day, you're not just speaking for yourself, you're speaking for a greater majority.
Yeah.
So women, take this opportunity to go. Take the seats and run.
Right.
Take that card and vote. Because at the end of the day, when you actually do something about it, then there's change that will be meant for you, and there's change that will impact you positively.
Yeah. Right. Let me read a couple of comments that are coming in. And thank you so much to everybody who is joining in. Tevin Kote, asante sana for making the time to join us today. Anasema good morning. Tuned in from Baddies, Africa. Good to see our champions, 100%. Then we also have Beatrice Kwamboka. Anasema, I am incredibly proud of both champions. Mmewalipa pesa ngapi? No, I'm kidding. As Baddies Africa, you can be assured of our unwavering support as you continue to exercise your agency and leadership. Thank you so much, Beatrice, for that. And she has a question for you. She's saying, I have a question for both of you. As artificial intelligence continues to emerge as a transformative force, what do you think, how do you think it has influenced campus politics in the recent race? That's a question. So thank you so much, Beatrice, for that question. It's a question that I think, artificial intelligence is not only affecting politics, but life as we know it. Yeah, how have you seen it, changing the course of political discourse?
I think, let me take you back to when I said majority of the female leaders, especially who are vying with me, faced a lot of challenges, and majority of the problem started with when we started fighting nudes. And majority of them were actually AI or, something that you've searched up and you decide you want to post it on a group or something. And I think something else that I kept on telling people was, right now, all our manifestos are written by AI. So when you're reading those manifestos,
which is a bad thing.
Yes and no.
Yeah. Tell me, what's the yes and no?
The yes, okay, let me start. It is a bad thing because right now, everything that you seem like you know how to sell is literally now created by someone else. It's not a vision that speaks to you.
Yeah.
It is a vision that you're now creating from something that you think people would like to hear. And the good thing about AI is you can explain it to me like a 3-year-old. And it breaks it down for you. So by the time I'm meeting you, who I have to convince you to vote for, I already have the words.
Yeah.
And how it can be a good thing is, as much as AI is now basically spoon-feeding us, not letting us think on our own, it's also widening the horizon. It's actually bringing in problems that you didn't know existed. because it now has a wider range. So it's also educating you as a person. Now, how you choose to take that and run with it is now what depends. Because you can choose to take it and run in the aspect of, okay, this is not something I'd thought about, but it's actually something I can implement. Or you can also just choose it to, okay, I only need it to write my manifesto, I sell it, and then after that, when I get into office, I now do whatever it is that I want to do. I think it's also in the aspect of, right now creating things with the eye is very simple. You can just create a text and say, this is something that has been going on between me and Maureen, and then they post it, and at the end of it all, people take it and run. People go and they go with it very fast. They don't care about to know your truth. So I think my call out to people when they're using AI is use it for the benefit of engaging with your mind. Try and learn, try and widen your horizon, but do not try and implicate a person, or do not try and sell a manifesto that is not yours. At the end of the day, we're trying to create a political environment that is of learned people and is of an environment that allows people to actually grow and, to actually let people see your vision, not let people see AI's vision.
Alice, what about you?
I think I'm going to agree with what Maureen has said. I'm going to look at the brighter side of AI. For people who are quote in quotes AI literate, it's a really great thing because it's an eye opener. You're going to see. I mean, we have been having recurring problems in our universities, and we have not been having solutions. But AI is going to give you practical solutions on how you're going to work around these issues that we've been having. As Maureen has said, it's easy for you to give information to the AI tool that you're using, and it will explain it to you as a 3-year-old. Like, it's going to break things down for you to be able to understand how you can ensure that people get what you want them to hear. So it's really a great thing in universities. But for women, we shouldn't forget the fact that it has been used against us severally. As Maureen has also said, that people can easily manufacture your images to just ensure that your reputation is questioned or interrogated. So looking at it in both POVs, it's a great and also a bad thing. For campus politics.
Right. Before we take your parting shot, shout out to Brayo, who is saying good morning. Amazing insights from Maureen and Alice. Thank you so much, Brayo, for taking the time to rise and shine with us on the Power Morning Drive Show. Alice, your parting shot.
To the woman who's out there, I want to tell you for a fact that political parties obsessively look at the demographic figures. You need to be registered as a voter for you as a woman to have the voice, and the voice can be translated to power if you step up and go vote. So do not assume that just because you're one in millions, your voice is not gonna be power. That voice, that one vote, is gonna influence 100 of votes for the MCA seats in your ward. It's gonna influence 1 out of 1,000 votes of the MP seat in your constituency. Maureen had earlier on said that we need to be accountable from the lowest level to ensure that we vote for MPs, MCAs, women representatives, governors and senators who are going to represent our needs and issues. So let's understand that we are empowered. Organizations like Baddies and the campaigns that are running are very important. They have also helped us understand that we need to interrogate the type of leaders that we want to see representing us. Let's remember that maternal health care is at the moment very underfunded. We're not seeing GBV issues being talked about well as they should be. But once we register as voters, once we organize and mobilize as women, once we have that voting block as women, we are going to shape the lives and the conversations of this country in the right and specific way that we want.
Love that. Partition?
I think to everyone woman who's listening, or to anyone in general who's listening, do it scared, do it weak, do it doubting, do it when you don't know what to do, but do it regardless. Because at the end of the day, when you do something, there's always going to be a reaction, because with every force is a reaction. So at the end of the day, do it. Go for that card. You don't know what to do with it, just get it first. Get educated. Decide that you want to buy, decide that you want to vote. But regardless, you need to do something for that to be changed. So I think my call out to people is do it. Do it regardless of whatever it is that you think you're not doing. But do it.
I love that. Maureen, Alice, thank you so much for the privilege of your time, and thank you for the amazing work that you're doing with this conversation, and hopefully in 2027 we wake up in a different country because of the work that you've been doing. So asanteni sana. Pleasure. Yeah, right. And to the entire Badili Africa group, we thank you so much. Thank you for even facilitating this. And if you want to keep up to speed with the messaging, because it's also important for yourself to be familiarized with what Baddies kwa Ballot, stands for, please head out to Badili Africa's pages on socials so that you can see the continuous rollout of that campaign. But we will also be having them join us this Friday from 8 a.m. all the way till 10 in the a.m. as we talk about now the larger national politics and the work that they do of making politics a safe space, especially for women. So please do catch us then on the Power Morning Drive show. But for today, thank you so much to everybody that was able to interact with us, the questions, the feedback that we've gotten. We really do appreciate you. We will see you on Friday. But for now, I am going to love you and leave you in the very capable hands of Miss Kimberly Sandra. She comes in at 11 with Shivasation. So you definitely do not want to miss out on that. And then we have Sauti Mbili launching today. I'm pretty stoked for that as well. Sauti Mbili is, of course, hosted by the one and only Zia Africa, ama ukipenda Mike Moshiri himself, alongside Flo Dhairu. They come in with Sauti Mbili. It's coming in hot. It's coming big. So you definitely do want to catch them. What time is it? What time is the show? I don't know. Let my producer tell me what time it is. Is it 3 or 4 p.m.? I should know this. I'm sorry. I think just go on our social media and from 2 to 3. Thank you. The producer has saved the day. Haya basi, mimi sina la ziada. Asante sana. It's been awesome having you. Tupatane Friday. Bye for now.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Ninavyoona vile ninavyohisi, usikae kama mtu anaficha hisia. Huwezi kuficha moto moshi kitokea, ukificha mapenzi we unaumia ndani ndani. Nasinda kuelewa ini mwenendo gani, taratibu ni vema lakini siwe kunirusite. Chani kupende mpenzi, chani kuhisi ndani ndani. Nishike mkononi twende mbali kwetu, ingawa mbali huko ni nyumbani, takupenda kwetu. Taratibu ni vema lakini kusiwe mwingine. Nieleza kwa nini we una hofu na mimi. Nakupenda, I love you, sheteme. Hakika tasama uso wangu, nimekumbwa na msasa wa kimapenzi. Natangaza wasi hadharani, nakupenda sana, niko na wewe kufana kupona. Kufana kupona baby, kufana kupona ingawa mbali uko ni nyumbani. Imatena kwetu nishike mkononi, kufana kupona baby, ingawa mbali uko ni nyumbani. na kupona. Nishike mkononi twende mbali, ingawa mbali uko ni nyumbani, imatena kwetu, takupepa maziwa makuu. Nishike mkononi twende mbali, ingawa mbali uko ni nyumbani, imatena
From sunrise